Hi everyone, and welcome to the How to Get Back on Track After Summer workshop. Say hello if you're there, or hashtag replay if you're watching this on replay. We're actually going live across both YouTube and Facebook right now, which is pretty amazing. I think the online world just absolutely blows my mind. It's just incredible that you can be reaching anyone from anywhere in the world, right? Just with simply Facebook and YouTube, the power of technology. You just love it. Love it when it works, right? Anyway, let me know if you're there, and I hope everyone had lovely bank holiday weekends. So if you are watching this on a replay, it's been the bank holiday weekend in the UK this weekend, and a lot of people would have been out a lot, maybe eaten things or a lot that they wish they hadn't done now, and drunk a lot, but hopefully you had really restful bank holiday weekends and you feel ready, kind of, to get back into things. I asked a question on Facebook this morning, pop a GIF below with how you feel right now, and there were so many tired GIFs. I always think it's hard going back, isn't it, sometimes, because you feel a little bit hard done to, even though you've had the Monday off. When you go back on the Tuesday, still feel really hard done to, because now reality hits and we've got to get back to it. But I hope you've had a lovely bank holiday weekend, and I hope you all are still having wonderful summers. We're kind of coming to the end of summer now, so it's time to start really planning ahead and thinking about, okay, what do I want to do moving into September and beyond? How can I get back on track with my health, my fitness, and think about what's coming next? Because summer typically is a time where we really do take our foot off the gas with our health and our fitness and our nutrition. We're going away on holidays, so we're completely out of routine. If you've got kids, the kids are off school, so now you've also become the entertainer, and you're also maybe trying to juggle work and the house and the kids that are off, and your fitness, it might just go to the bottom of the pile, or you might just feel completely all over the place with your health and your fitness. And with your nutrition, maybe you've been on holiday, maybe you've been having richer foods, or maybe you've been drinking a lot more alcohol than you normally would have done. And same again, if the kids are off, maybe it's been a little bit of a make do. Maybe you're so busy right now. And maybe it's something that you really do want to get on top of and you have all intention, but life's just been a little bit crazy. So September's a really good opportunity, I think, for a new start and a fresh new chapter. I like to think of it as a bit of a January. So January really is, right, yeah, new year, new me, fresh start, let's go. And the majority of people keep that up for a short while. And they're still not here now. No, they're here, but still not working on that now. It's kind of gone by the wayside. But September is this new opportunity. You've got this really nice long stretch of time before December, before the new year. So can you imagine actually going into the new year being in such a better place, rather than thinking, oh, I'll just wait till next year, and I'll do it next year, as if some kind of motivational, inspirational fairy is just going to wave her wand. We all know the things that we need to be doing, but it's a case of how can we do it? How can we stick to it, stay motivated, and stay accountable to actually achieve it? So today I'm going to be talking to you all about making a plan so we can move forward into September with a plan. What we're going to do, we're going to refocus, we're going to get on it, but in a way that we can actually keep up with it. So in a month's time, we're not looking for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. We feel like we're starting to settle into a really good routine, one that we enjoy, that lifts us up and is going to make us thrive, energy-wise, fitness-wise, and health-wise too. So I'm going to do this in a few parts, actually. I'm going to introduce my 4-3-2 method. Then I will also talk about nutrition. I'm going to talk about setting a few goals, and then just like a few tips and tricks that you can do. As always, I would really like you to take two things from this. Two things that you can implement straight away. I think sometimes we can listen to these things or watch these lives and these workshops and think, yeah, that's a really good idea. And then 2 hours later, it's gone. It's all gone. So unless we actually take some action and write something down and implement something, then this live or this talk would have been a waste of time. So let's make sure that we're implementing two things. And I think two things, because that's manageable, it's doable, and you're going to be able to stick to it, as opposed to, right, I need to overhaul my nutrition, my fitness regime, I need to overhaul my goals. Let's just take this a step at a time, and let's think about two things. So just bear that in mind as we go through today. So I'm going to start with my 4-3-2 method, which I think is something that is so easy and everyone should be adopting. Just a really easy thing to get you back on track for September and beyond. So the 4-3-2, it stands for 4 workouts a week, 3 balanced meals a week, and 2 sets of batch cooking a week. I'm going to explain that a little bit more. So the 4 workouts, if you're a really busy person, these don't have to be super long. These might actually be 10 minutes. So at the online squad, we've got a bolt-on area, and those workouts are all under 10 minutes long. And the idea of that is, yes, you can use it as a bolt-on for other workouts. If you do a live and you want to do a stretch after, or if you do a cardio class and you want to do 10 minutes of upper body strength, for example, use them as that. But also, they're really handy if you've just not got much time and you want to do something. Like, the amount you can do in a short space of time is just incredible. So 4 workouts, preferably a balance as well. So you've got your strength in there, your cardio, and your core holistic, because that's really important for your all-round well-being. It's all right just doing strength and strength and strength all the time until you need to bend down and pick something off the floor and you pull your back because your muscles are so tight. So let's be thinking about a bit of everything here. The 3 is for 3 balanced meals a day. The amount of times I hear women coming to me, I mean, it's not for everybody, but women coming to me saying, oh, no, I don't have breakfast, I don't do breakfast. But then they're really struggling to lose weight and they have cravings and they have sugar cravings because their body is needing that energy. If you don't feed your body and fuel your body balanced meals, you will reach points in your day where you're just absolutely craving energy. And that will usually be the quick sugars that your body wants and that you want. So your chocolate bars, your biscuits, anything like that, or sweets, whatever your thing is, you will be craving it. And it's going to be harder because you'll be tired. So it's going to be harder to resist having those things as well. And I'm not saying that you should resist them all the time. I don't think that you should. And what I'm saying is it's going to become harder. It's going to become harder to it's going to become harder to fuel your body in a proper way. So the best thing you can do is focus on your 3 balanced meals in the day. And if you're somebody who doesn't like eating straight away first thing in the morning, it doesn't make you feel nice, then just push it back later in the day and just have like a later start. It doesn't matter. You can have a bit of a brunch and then a later lunch and a dinner. It's whatever works for you. But my point is to think about balanced meals. So in there, you want some lean protein, you want some fibrous carbohydrates that will keep you fueled, and you also want some healthy fats in there too. Balanced meal, it will keep you fueled, it will stop you snacking so much, and it will keep your energy levels high and keep you feeling good. Now, number 2 is 2 sets of batch cooking per week. This is really handy because if you're a busy person and you need to make a quick lunch or a quick breakfast or a quick dinner and you haven't actually got anything prepped already in, it is really tempting to either be like, right, should we just go to the pub, or right, I'll order a takeaway, or do you know what, I just won't really bother, I'm just going to have these snacks and we'll have a snackable dinner or whatever, or picky tea. Not great. Not really great. But if you have things that are completely batch cooked, so say if you say on a Sunday, I've got a bit of time, and on a Wednesday evening, I'm going to make sure that I batch cook just a few things for the next few days. It doesn't have to be your whole meal. It could just be something that's quite handy. So for example, you could have a tray bake of a load of roasted vegetables. So chop up a load of vegetables like peppers. You could do some sweet potatoes in there. You could have some carrots. You could have some courgette, whatever. You tell me, what do you batch cook? Let me know in the comments. You could put all that into the oven. There you go. There's some roasted veg that you can just add with whatever. You could put some rice with it. You could put some pasta with it. You could batch cook a stir fry. You could batch cook a load of chicken breasts that you could use for sandwiches, that you could use for dinners, that you could then freeze or use later. Same with fish, salmon. There's so many things that you could batch cook, just dead simple. It doesn't need to be out there. It could literally take you 5 minutes. to chuck in an oven and then take it out. It's done, it's already cooked. So then when you do come to make your lunch, you can get some salad if you want that's already pre-washed, although really you ought to wash that again. And then put your chicken with it. And then, oh, there's your roasted vegetable rice mix that you made. Bang, all in one. Takes 2 minutes. So you're saving yourself time. So that is the 4-3-2 method. And that is one that I would definitely use. So that's the first thing. The second thing, oh, do you see my chipped nail? I'm going to see Carrie about that soon. I tried to, I'm not going to show you. I tried to sort it out myself and it didn't go down very well. And now I feel really sorry for my pony. Keep catching it on things. Anyway, I never used to be a nail person and now I love it. That's my little bit of self-care. Yeah, make sure you do self-care. The second thing is to have, goals. And I know that we all say, yeah, no, goals. My goal is I want to be size 8 or I want to lose 2 stone. No, let's have goals. Yeah, they're great, but let's have goals that are a little bit closer than that too. Let's think about our next step. So what I like to do here is when you're breaking down goals, you want them to, of course, be achievable and you want them to be something you stick to, because otherwise you will just set yourself up for failure and then you'll never actually want to achieve it and you'll never be able to do it. It is the arrival fallacy of, say, for example, you set yourself a goal of, I want to lose 2 stone, and that's your goal. Well, anything until that point is kind of still a failure, really. So what you want to do is, and also you need to think about like, what's actually realistically going to happen when you get there? Like, why that number? Is it because at that number, maybe you've been there before and you felt really good and really energized and really positive and you just felt healthier, you felt more confident in your skin? Because if that's the case, then that's actually the goal. It's not the number, just what you associate the number with. So firstly, think about, you got your goal, your big goal, right? Let's break it down. What's the next goal? The next little thing that you can tick off. So it might be, by the end of the month, I want to lose 3 pounds. So you've done that, tick it off. Okay, what's the next thing? So be thinking about the one step in front. And the way that I think is really useful to do this is to reverse engineer 90 days. So let's say between September and December, where do you want to be by Christmas? Let's reverse engineer that 90 days. What do you need to do? What are the little steps you need to do to get there? So rather than thinking of that end goal all the time, be thinking about the little mini goals along the way that you can just tick off and make sure they're achievable. So it's not going to be something ridiculous. Like, you're not going to tell yourself, oh, I'm going away on holiday in September, and by the end of September, I want to lose 6 pounds, and you know you're going on holiday. And then you get to that point, you're like, yeah, well, I just can't do it. And then you get really annoyed with yourself. So let's think about what you've got going on in your life. What's going to be realistic? What can you actually achieve that's going to get you closer to where you want to be? At the same time, you don't want it to be too slow. Of course, you actually want to be getting closer. But it's about being realistic with yourself. So you're not failing all the time. Because that's kind of how we see it, isn't it? We really forget to zoom out and see the whole picture. We're so zoomed in all the time on what's going on a day-to-day basis, and we beat ourselves up, when in actual fact it's about working with yourself and zooming out and seeing, well, if I zoom out, the overall picture is progress, and it's going to look a little bit bumpy on the way, but as long as I'm going towards these mini goals, just focusing on those, I'm going to get there. So reverse engineer 90 days. Now, the next thing I would say is to snack smart. So we've spoken about nutrition a little bit already. We've said it's really important to be batch cooking. And I think one of the areas that a lot of people really trip up is, one, they're not giving themselves those 3 balanced meals that we talked about. They're just trying to make do all the time, as opposed to actually feeding their bodies and being kind to themselves and nourishing their bodies. They're just trying to make do and get by. But I think it's also snacking. I think we now, and tell me what you think as well, because I'd love to know, I think we live in a society that is based around snacking. If you think about all the companies that make so much money from snacks, even the word snack, like when did it even become a thing? But I think we do live in a very, very fast-paced world right now. And I think it's just become part of our culture. And if it is something that you do, I know not everyone does snack. I definitely do. I definitely do. I live a very fast-paced life. And for me, it's a way of keeping my energy up throughout the day. But it's about, did you see that? I got a bit passionate, just hit the microphone. But it's about snacking smartly. So what can you do to get some smart snacks in? What would that look like for you? And you might start off with just two smart snacks. What could you have each day? Morning snack, afternoon snack that will keep you tied over, that isn't going to make you reach for the cupboard because you haven't actually fueled your body enough. So say you're having your 3 balanced meals, what could you have? Things like Greek yogurt, things like nuts or boiled eggs or more natural bars. So if you like cereal bars and things like that, going for your more natural varieties. I quite like Naked and Kind bars. They're nice. Or grenade bars if you want that protein hit. Again, ideally, the less processed, the better. But again, the world is set up very much so for us to be eating quite processed. And on that note, I do think it should be all about mainly how you nourish your body and making sure that you're having nutrient-dense foods the majority of the time. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a protein bar. I just want to say that. And it's something that I do. But most of the time, my food comes from the ground. So snacking smart. What can you get to snack smart? What can you get in? Because if it's in, it's already there, and you can just reach it, you're going to be set. If it's not there and you've got other things that are reachable, that aren't as nourishing, that aren't as smart, you're going to go for those. If you've got them out on your table, you're going to go for them. If they're at the front of the cupboard, you're going to go for them. So let's think about how can we do this smartly then? Put the fruit out on the side. If you want to do batch cooking on a Wednesday and a Sunday, do a load of boiled eggs, put them in the fridge ready for when you know that you're going to be so tired and you need a snack right now, right there and then. You can just grab it. It is just there. We're not setting ourselves up for failure. We're setting ourselves up for success here. So it's all about putting those little mini steps in to set yourself up for success. And now, the last thing I wanted to say here, and this one is a bit more of a mindset one, really. And I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of women to help them do this. And it has been the sticking thing that really, really helps them change things for the long term and for the better. And that is a mindset shift. Now we do this in our 6-week course a lot, because when everyone joins us, we find that we are having to help a lot of people unlearn some really, let's say, bad habits and education that just is not true. So some false information, and re-educate everyone to learn to work with themselves and to learn what is right for their body and to be kind to themselves too. So with this, if you are somebody who has a quote unquote bad weekend, maybe it was a weekend that didn't quite go to plan and you overate, and you didn't just do it on, say, like a Saturday, it ended up being like a Friday and a Saturday, and then on Sunday you thought, oh, well, I might as well just carry on and start again on Monday. Or if you're somebody who opens, say, the chocolate or the biscuits or whatever it might be for you, and you find you have it more than you want to, or you feel like you need to finish the packet before you stop, or you feel like if it's in, you're going to have it, and you feel a little bit all or nothing, and you feel like you're stuck in this vicious cycle of overdoing it on certain things and then really pulling back and not allowing yourself anything, like don't touch the big red button territory. So it's this whole overdoing it and then restricting cycle over and over again. And all you keep thinking is in your mind, why am I like this? Why am I doing this? Why can't I trust myself? Why can't I stick to anything? Why doesn't anything work? And you're in this constant cycle of bullying yourself. It's going to be really hard. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be really difficult for you to do this. If you break the cycle by actually being kind to you and actually nourishing your body. So if you find that you've overindulged, say you overindulged your bank holiday weekend, and today you told yourself, right, well, I ate all of that yesterday, so better not have any breakfast. Or you say to yourself, I need to eat salads all day, so that's what I'm going to have to do. Whatever you do, or maybe you say, right, I'm going to have to do 4 classes or something ridiculous to try and compensate. Then all you're going to do is be in that place where you just can't keep it up anymore. That's all you're going to do. If you draw a line and you say, okay, I did that, but I'm going to focus today on, or this week, on the 4-3-2. So I'm going to get my 4 workouts in. I'm going to eat 3 balanced meals every day, and I'm going to do some batch cooking as well. You will set yourself up for success. If you get some smart snacks in, so that when you're really tired at the end of the day, you spend all day making decisions and you've got that decision fatigue and you're sat on the sofa and you feel like, here we go again. I'm opening the crisps, I'm opening the chocolate, and I feel a little bit rubbish. You've got those snacks already there. You've got them. It's easy. You're making it easy for yourself. And if you just take some time tonight even, or tomorrow, put it in your diary if you're going to do it tomorrow, but just take some time to reverse engineer where you want to be. Where do you want to be by Christmas? And why do you want to be there? Think about why you actually want to be there. What do you associate with that thing? What is it that you're really wanting? Ask yourself why, and really get to the bottom of why you want to do it, and then reverse engineer that. Okay, so what are you going to do to get there? And if you feel like you haven't got time to do that, you don't need to do loads of little steps. Why don't you do it month by month? Where do you want to be by the end of September? Where do you want to be by the end of October? Or do you want to just stick to the 4-3-2 every week and see how you get on? Maybe that's your aim. See how you get on. But they're the things that I would do. So the 4-3-2, make sure you're snacking smart and reverse engineer your goals and just start to work with yourself. So if you find yourself slipping or you find that you've fallen off the wagon, to draw a line and think about being kind to you, because it does not work the other way around. If you become your own bully, not only does it not work, but it becomes a really, really horrible place to live, real negative mindset to be in. And we spend most of the time in our own heads, right? We want them to be positive places to be. So if you find you catching yourself being your own bully, draw a line and think, well, didn't quite go to plan. I'm not going to focus on that now. I'm drawing a line and this is what I'm going to do next. Make a plan moving forwards. Make it sustainable. Make sure that you're looking after you and being kind to you. Anyway, this is how to get back on track after summer. We draw a line. It doesn't matter about what's already happened. What's important is about what you do next. So I just want you to take 2 things from today's talk, 2 things from today's workshop. That's what I said at the start. So it might be the 4-3-2. It might be snacking smart. It might be you just want to do some batch cooking and you like some of the ideas that I shared. It might be the fact that you're going to sit down and you're going to work out where you want to be in 90 days and you're going to reverse engineer that. So let's have a little think. The most important thing to do is to plan ahead. And I always say to my squaddies, always make sure you're planning in your journals for the week ahead. Every Sunday, it's in my diary. I do it every week without fail. It is a non-negotiable of mine. And I always make sure that I'm making time for me with my workouts and planning for the week ahead every Sunday, no matter what happens. And if you're watching this and you are not a squaddie, hey, look, we all know what we need to do, right? But if you are struggling to actually stay accountable and be able to put this into place, I would really strongly suggest that it might not be us, but you find someone or something who could support you. And I would really, really strongly, if you're still with me, suggest looking at our 6-week course. So we're starting, well, the next one is on the 9th of September. And this is exactly what we do. So we'll give you the tools, we'll give you all the education, but then what we will really do is we'll make sure that you stay accountable. And this is how, as humans, we actually make change. We have that accountability. We have someone backing us, and we're with a group of people who are going with us and lifting us up, giving us advice when we most need to hear it, giving us advice when we need it and we don't know what to do, giving us the motivation when we feel like we haven't got anything left, or usually we would have slipped backwards. We've got people pushing us forwards. This is what we do at Lorna's Online Squad. So if that sounds a little bit like you, just get in touch. You can message me directly, or you can go to lornamariefitness.co.uk and you can click get started there. Anyway, it's been my pleasure. I really hope you've taken something from this. 2 things. Hope you've taken 2 things from this tonight. And I will look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great one.